Today's video is a little bit of a short one. It's just kind of like letting you know that I'm alive. I know I haven't posted a video, uploaded a video for like a week, right? Sometimes it's depressing, sometimes it's difficult, especially at the moment. I remember when I lived in the UK, and if I go back to when like Britain and America invaded Iraq, it was so different because it was like a TV war. It was like you know, okay, they invaded Iraq, the world was outraged, people protested, but the war still went ahead, and it was just like a TV war. Like, you know, in the evenings, if you watch the news, you'd find out about Iraq, and you'd see the gains, and you'd see the choreographed news, and show the progress that was being made and stuff. You wouldn't see anything negative that was happening. You'd see just positive, you know, how the liberation was going and all that stuff. And obviously living in Russia now, you know, it's completely different because Russia doesn't get to have that same possibility as in the UK. You know, we have sanctions. Start with, just as somebody is living here, we have sanctions, right? So sanctions affect daily life. Then obviously in the last week or so, we've had the partial mobilisation. We've had the referendums, and there's so much going on. And because I watch the news in English, right? I watch the news in English. Every time I open YouTube, it's anti-Russia, it's negative, and it just starts to build up, and it gets pretty difficult. Just in this new park, I've never been here before, and Russia loves to do parks like this, with this like kind of big main square area and a few kind of like walking about areas. So I've almost had like a feeling of guilt that, you know, all these people are being drafted, right? And you know, should I be having fun? Am I allowed to have fun? Am I allowed to go out and enjoy myself? Am I allowed to do that on camera and show everyone that I'm having a good time? Or, you know, should I just be kind of like, I don't know. And then there's so much negativity. There's obviously people that don't want to go and fight, right? They're worried about dying. I completely understand that. Completely understand that. What would you do? Would you go? Would you want to leave the country as well? Would you, if you're in that fighting age, would you want to leave? I'm sure you would. You wouldn't want to go to the front and fight. You know, these people sign up to be reservists, not thinking that there's ever going to be, or you know, a need to be called up to go fight, right? And so, of course, you know, people are leaving, and everyone looks at that and says, "Ah, look at Russia, how crazy it is." And at the end of the day, if the situation was reversed, would you go? You know, would you go? I don't think you would you? And I know people will say, well, you know, we don't need to go because, you know, look, at the end of the day, this is turning into like a bit of a disaster. Now, are you ready for World War III? Are you ready for that? Because I'm not ready for it, and you know, I think it's a bit of a nightmare. It's getting it's going a bit crazy for my liking. You know, as in the past, how I've experienced these kind of like conflicts, right? As I say, going back to the Iraq invasion of Iraq and stuff like that, it's always been like a TV war for me. Always been like that. So I've never really kind of felt it, never kind of really noticed it. But like, if the same thing would have happened in the UK, for example, if they had loads of sanctions, and then all the companies have boycotted everything from the UK, and all the foreign businesses had left the UK, and then, you know, suddenly it turned into like a proxy war where the whole world would send weapons and support to Iraq to defeat the British. You know, you could be in that situation too, but unfortunately for you, I should say, not unfortunately, but fortunately, you know, it never came to that there, because for one way or another, no one actually punishes NATO countries. That's how it is. But I don't want to get into that. That's a completely different, like, that's a whole different bloody conversation, and I really can't be bothered to get into that, because obviously I'm British. I love Britain as well, right? As well as being a Russian citizen, I'm a British citizen. So, you know, I don't want to. That's a whole crazy conversation for another day, or maybe just a conversation for your mates when you're sitting down having a chat, and maybe not for YouTube. And then now we've had the bloody Nordstream thing, and what the hell is that? You know, like, just getting way too crazy. It really is getting way too crazy. Like, why would Russia blow up Nord Stream 2? Like, it's just ridiculous. Why would they blow up Nord Stream 1? People saying, you know, Russia got these bargaining chips, right? And that was one of them. So why would they blow up? It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense. And I think the world can see that, you know. It's just another thing, you know, because you guys, you see that on TV and it's fine, and you know, you go and forget about it for a while. But I live here, right? And this is like a thing that's happened. It's just absolutely crazy. It's like, and then we're being told that Russia did it to themselves. It's like, why would they do that? It's just stupid. I think the whole world knows that there's one country that benefits from those pipelines not being able to be in use. And it's not Russia. And it's not Europe. You know, we saw protests in Germany saying, we want the Nord Stream 2 pipeline opened, right? We want to buy Russian gas. Why are we sabotaging our lives, right? And then 2 days later, Nord Stream 2 and Nord Stream 1 explode. Come on, you know, like, I think the world knows when we're being lied to about who does stuff like this. But, oh man, again, like, it's hard to not talk about stuff like this because it's every day. And every time I open YouTube, there's crazy amount of anti-Russian stuff, right? And all these media reports and stuff saying, yeah, it's obviously Russia did it. Obviously. Why, you know, if it rains, it's Russia, and if it snows, it's Russia, and if it's hot, it's Russia. And that's kind of how it is, and it's just crazy. So this is a brand new park, and they've got these things here, right? So I'm guessing there's going to be like a monument or something on each one. I think the park's called Patriot Park. And we see that each of these plants, right, or the trees I should say, has been planted by an organisation that's like a charity organisation, something to do with town. Some of them have got to do with the army, some of them got to do with different charities. Look at this one here, has been planted by the university, for example. Now, it's weird because I feel bad kind of complaining. I'm not complaining, I'm just kind of voicing my mood, my feelings, my opinion. And I know people say, well, what right do you have to complain? People are dying in Ukraine. Get that, 100% get that. But, you know, I can only live my life, right? And I see it as I see it. And it's difficult at the moment. It's difficult. It's difficult to be here. It's a difficult situation. Obviously, not as difficult for me as it is for others, but I do feel a little bit of guilt, maybe. Perhaps I feel guilt that other people are going through way worse things than I am. And yeah, so I just feel guilty because of that. Plus it's autumn, right? Everyone feels depressed in autumn anyway, so maybe it's just the kind of autumn depression that's kind of like caught up with me and I'm feeling a bit bad. But like literally spent the week just in bed. I didn't want to speak to anybody. I've had like people getting in contact with me, my mates and stuff, reaching out to me, asking where I am, what's happening, and I've just been ignoring them. So this is like a public announcement to all the people that have tried to get hold of me in this last week. I'm really sorry. I just kind of, I don't know, just wanted to be alone, I guess. I've just seen some road signs and I'm so confused as to what I should do. What should I do here? So we've got train tracks coming up and a hospital and a crossroads, and it's the main road for me, but then I can't overtake, and there's a zebra crossing and there's children running and a turn and a give way sign and a stop and it's not my right of way, or is my right of way, and there's roadworks. Like, oh man, it's all happening at once. And there's more. It's like the end of one way, but it's still one way, and oh man, what am I supposed to do here? This has to be the most beautifully tarmacked road in Russia. I don't know if you can see that house over there, but it's like a Spanish villa or something. Look, the one just there, look. So anyway, in order to kind of chase away the autumn blues, as it were, I need to do something good for somebody else. So I've invited somebody on a date. Now, going on a date with me isn't like the best thing in the world for them, obviously. I'm not a God's gift to women in any way, shape or form. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make for them this, like a quest. I've got 3 hours till I'm supposed to meet the person. Can't even fucking speak today, which should be fun. So I've got 3 hours now. I'll go and get some craft paper, write out a little map and stuff, and go and make this little quest. So at least I feel like I've, I don't know, done something good today.